Before we get started, you can stream the Naqwatsveni podcast on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and YouTube. Let's get into this episode. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys all doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Naqwatsveni Skateboarding podcast. Today, my guest is Chris Paddock, sole designer, owner, and operator of Native Apparel, a brand that represents urban and modern day styles mixed with indigenous heritage from the past and present. The designs created give all generations and ethnicities a chance to show their pride and appreciation for Native American heritage. So today we'll be talking about entrepreneurship from Chris Paddock. And I hope you guys do enjoy this episode. So here we go. When it comes to entrepreneurship, my biggest motivation would be just to keep challenging myself. I see life almost like one long university education that I never had. Every day I'm learning something new, whether that's learning how to design, graphic design, or just anything that comes with the Naqwatsveni Skateboarding brand. And with the amount of work that I put in with Naqwatsveni Skateboarding, it does feel a large part of my life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what I believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to do what I love. And I do love skateboarding. I do love my culture. And combining those two, it works out the best. And it's just unique and very different. So as an entrepreneur, is someone who has a vision for something and a want to create. And the only thing worse than starting something and failing is not starting something. So if you have an idea and you want to go out and start something, go out and do it. Don't be scared. Just take that risk. It's not going to hurt you. You're going to probably fail at it, but we all have failures when we start something. I even failed multiple times until I got it right. Not to say I got it right, but I'm still learning as I go. But I never gave up. You gotta have that passion and drive just to keep going and motivation to do what you love to do. So with that being said, I have Chris Paddock on here, who's the owner of Native Apparel, and he talks more about entrepreneurship. So let's get into this podcast, and Coco for listening. Again, everything starts as nothing, so take that into consideration. So what's up, Chris?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Just Saturday, just kind of relaxing and, getting caught up on business stuff. And yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah, it sure is. So tell us about yourself. Like, who's Chris Paddock?
Who Chris Paddock is? Well, from when I was younger, probably around the age of like around 19, 20, I decided to go to school for computer technology and kind of went to a trade school over in Mesa, Arizona, and learned about how to become a computer technician and did that whole thing because I had a child that was going to be coming, and kind of went from there. Went back to Tuba City, Arizona, where I'm from, and couldn't find any work within the computer technical field. So I took things into my own hand and um, self-taught myself graphic and web design out there, and that was around 2001, and wound up opening up my first print shop out there, which was called AZ Copy Solutions, and did that for a while, and kind of moved on from there, and went into the bigger world, and kind of took that knowledge and just kind of grew from there. That's kind of where my graphic and web design comes from. It was all self-taught.
Nice.
Yeah, it started with a business asking, "Do you know how to graphic design? Can you do business cards?" And yeah, so I self-taught myself. Did the business cards, got them done, delivered it. Oh, can you do this? And it turned into a more printing thing, and next thing you know, it led to me opening up a print shop in Tuba City. So that's kind of where it started from. So pretty much everything that I've kind of learned within, graphic arts and the digital media field was all self-taught, but I kind of backed it up with the technical knowledge. And I eventually kind of grew more into technology as I went along, and got a degree in computer network system administration, and kind of learned computer networking and the internet and the real deep depths of what that means. And I worked numerous places, everywhere from California back to Arizona, kind of back, wound up working for Native American Connections, which is a nonprofit organization down here in Phoenix. And I
Nice.
was, yeah, I was their marketing and communications coordinator. And I actually took that job on as well, initially when it started, it was actually donating my time, for a nonprofit while I was going through school. And it kind of just grew, and I got to know everybody, and, so I kind of have a kind of multifaceted background within, technology combined with the whole digital side of digital media and marketing. So that's kind of my background, and I've always kind of fell into positions that kind of played along that role.
Oh, nice. So, did you grow up on the reservation in Tuba City, or where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in multiple places. I grew up as a child. I was born in Tuba City, Arizona, and as I grew up, my parents, they kind of moved back and forth. I grew up in Tuba for 4 years, and then I wound up in Page, Arizona. Went to school there, and spent a lot of summers out in California, and eventually wound up going through junior high in Flagstaff, and wound up back in high school in Tuba City, Arizona. So I'm a warrior out there.
Nice.
So, and then from there, I kind of just, moved on. And that was back in '98. And after school, I moved down to Mesa, and kind of that's where my journey started. But, I wound up back in Tuba City to open up the AZ Copy Solutions.
How did you go about opening up a print shop like the AZ Copy Solutions? How did that start?
Well, the initial part of it was just an idea from other businesses that are in Tuba City, in the local area, outside of Tuba City. And it was just kind of it was a niche, kind of like there was a need for it. And then I filled it. And I pretty much self-taught myself that whole part of it.
The AZ Copy Solutions still around, or?
No, it's actually not. It actually closed down. It ran for about 3 years and eventually closed down. So that's kind of when I moved on and wound up working in California, managing a copy and print center out there. So, yeah.
The whole entrepreneurship just started with you with through the AZ solutions and also like people asking you for like business cards and doing graphic work. Is that how your apparel brand started?
Well, yeah. Well, the apparel brand was kind of a build up into it because I was always primarily around digital printing, like offset printing and wide format printing, and doing design work for that side of things. Because apparel printing and apparel design is a whole nother aspect, a whole nother spectrum of what printing is. Um, so I never crossed into that area until recently, 2 years ago. Right around COVID time, I was, working from home and figured, I'm going to test out the waters. I'm going to work on a couple of websites and, see what comes of it. So, Native Apparel actually started as a test, just to do a little something different because I was just stuck at home. I grew from there, and you know I, I learned more about the apparel industry, as far as fabrics you can print on, techniques. Um, so it really opened that door for me, and I pretty much immersed myself into it and just pushed forward with it.
Like what motivated you to just keep on going with your native apparel brand? Like what made you stick with it?
um, I've always loved creating digital art with the computer, and I've always enjoyed the the result I get back when I offer a customer something or do a job or anything, whatever design wise or print wise at the end result, and give it to them and have them appreciate it, something that they've never seen before, or something that just excites them about whether it be a card, a letterhead, envelope, a T-shirt, or a whole wall mural. So that's kind of what drove me to continue in it because it's my passion, and I truly believe in people pursuing their passions. And a thing that I like to say is I, till the day I die, I will do this. I could do this for free if I wanted to, but bills got to get paid.
Yeah,
so,
that is true.
but yeah, so the motivation really came from just the love of designing, being able to create something that people can wear and share with the world.
What fascinates you about creating for the native people, for your people, our
Well,
people?
I think the real design aspect that I have kind of pursued down is I've been able to do a lot of work with corporate organizations like PetSmart and a lot of bigger organizations, casinos, and I've kind of developed that mind frame of being able to do corporate design, and now I'm combining it with the Native American heritage that I carry within myself, not just for my tribe but for other tribes too, and to create digital art that is that can be shared with the world. Not just It's not just for Native Americans, it's for everybody to really take appreciation in Native American heritage. So that's what drives me.
Wear it with pride.
Exactly, because Native Americans can wear the gear I produce and everything, but I want it to be a symbol of what people other than Native Americans can share with the world as far as, their appreciation for what Native Americans have to offer as far as art, culture, heritage, and really blend that in and, allow it to be shared through them, whoever buys it. I think the feedback that I've been receiving and that I go towards is that it's a my design style is not a hard into your face, because I know there's a lot of people out there who do a lot of design work that is more, you know, put it in your face, kind of, we're native, you stole our land. And I appreciate that. And I have total respect for that. But the way I design is it's a new day. Let's move forward and let's share. And that's kind of the design aspect that I kind of go at, when I design anything now. It's more of a sharing kind of deal, that anybody can wear.
It's pretty cool when you see non-Native Americans rocking your stuff, and I just find that fascinating because it shows that us Native Americans, like, we're still here. We're not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they appreciate the culture and they want to know more behind um Native American culture.
Exactly. And that is the aspect that I'm coming at it from, because I think that's a good message to send to anybody who appreciates Native American artwork and heritage. So that's kind of the viewpoint I come from. I want to be able to share it with the entire world.
Yeah, like that unification, like everybody just coming together.
Yeah, and that's and the concepts that come out of it too. Like I have a shirt that is it's called 22 Strong, and the 22 Strong is more of a unity shirt. It's a reminder to Native Americans within Arizona, to tell them, hey, we're all in this. We're all in this together. And there's no. I try to pull away from designing specific tribes. I mean, I do some with Navajo because I'm Navajo, but it's about including everybody. And I'm actually coming out with another series too.
And you said Lorray was a co-founder as well. And you guys design together, right?
Yeah, she comes up with the different ideas that she wants done, and I kind of just she kind of guides me in doing the digital artwork aspect of that, to where she stands over my shoulder and kind of guides me, and there, and I think it's a great thing, because I've never had anybody, help me in that realm of, doing Hopi design, because I'm Navajo and she's Hopi. So I don't want to offend anybody by crossing over that line to me just designing whatever I want. Every design that I have has a meaning behind it, has a purpose.
She's Hopi, you're Navajo, and including those two traditions together, it's like there's that unification right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
Combining two different artworks together from two different tribes.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's been an inspiration to me, as far as, anything I design, I always get a second eye to overlook what I'm doing. And she's been a big pillar of it. So she's one of the founders. So it's basically Native Apparel is roughly about 5 people. We call it Team Native Apparel, which is me and Lorraine James and her daughter Erin Choyu, and we got a couple other guys. We got Nate, and we got another guy named Anthony. So we're all kind of in this together, and and it's so awesome to have him there.
Cool. So it's like a family dynamic type. That's awesome.
Yeah, friends and family. Yeah, so that's kind of the
Oh,
dynamic
nice.
there. Yeah, so the more eyes you can get on um, the finished work, I think they're the ones who really, because anything I design, I pass it around to our group, and they give their comments, and we kind of go from there. So it's a collaborative, design that we do together, who are all Native American, who come together and kind of, you know, choose what we want to be out there and talk about the purpose and, really get into depth about it. And then that's where we make our choices from.
Who and what inspires you as an entrepreneur to like do these like ventures of like going out and like marketing your stuff?
Um, Marketing myself, or the start of the entrepreneurial side of things was, it was um, in the beginning, I started the business of Asia Copter Solutions with my ex-wife. Her name was Brianne Griffin. She became Brianne Paddock when we got married, but her parents owned the Tuba City truck stop, and they owned several businesses, and they were big pillars of teaching me about what business is and how to go about making it work, and all the downfalls that I would experience. And I would go out and I would go to different seminars to listen to people like Robert Kiyosaki, and read a lot of books, about enterprise and success, and so those all that information dug into my heart, and that's what kind of really propelled me forward as a Native American man to really just carry that foundation into my life. And that was probably around when I was like 20 years old, because I was 21 years old when I first opened up AZ Copy Solutions. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and we had about, it was a small shop, but we had 5 employees that actually worked there for us. And yeah, it was up there by the NNHE over by Quality Inn in Tuba City. We actually rented that. Now it's a coffee shop now that they use it for. But
Oh,
that's
that's oh okay. I
yeah,
think yeah, because I'm from Tuba too, and okay, yeah, because that place is turned into a coffee shop now.
we that's where we're actually, or yeah, the company AZ Copy Solutions was based out of there. That's They converted it into, it was just a storage place, and then we built it in and closed out the walls and did a lot of things, updates, and built the stairs that go up, and so we were the ones who kind of created the foundation for them too. And yeah, it didn't fall through the way I wanted it to, so that was kind of a fail for us. But you learn from your failures and pick yourself up and move on and learn from it and do it again.
Yeah, it's just like any other business. Like when people start something up, like it may go good, it may not. And like you said, like failure is like I would say like your biggest learning point. Like you go back and you realize like what you messed up on and how you're gonna adventure into another business if they pursue it again. So that's what being an entrepreneur is about. Is like the highs and lows. You never know what you're gonna like. What's gonna be the outcome of it?
Hmm. Yeah, one
Like
of
you
the
take
things,
risks.
yeah, you do. One of the things that I've learned in life, even specifically to business life is you're going to fail more than you're going to succeed.
Yep.
And it's a matter of if you're going to pick yourself up or not, because eventually you will. But it's about picking yourself up quickly. It's about how fast you can get back up and get back into the game. And that's kind of how I have kind of self-taught myself. And of course, with all the seminars, talking with people, and that's embedded in me. And, working for yourself is a great privilege. I mean, the inspiration that you can share with other people to do what you do and to prove to other people that they can do what they really love in life, and they can actually succeed at it. So,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is true.
and and another part of, Native Apparel, is another business side of it too. I actually work with a lot of, like artists. Like I work with, Bahi Whitethorn. I help him do digital work and do, his T-shirt printing, and help him on the digital aspect of his work. And I work with, Kevin Horace Kwani. I've done his website, at waterbirdstudios.com. And I work with, Ray Goodluck, and he's at raygoodluck.com, and he's an up and coming artist, and I do photography work for them. I do all the digital work, and I even work with their art to turn it into apparel for them to where they can sell it too. So I got a lot of stuff going on. So, and it's very interesting. And I have some stuff that's going to be coming up with the city of Scottsdale too,
Oh,
who
sweet.
who I'm working on with, my daughter. Who that's why I was in Kentucky. She graduated with a fine arts degree from, Morehead State University, and she does a lot of charcoal work, sketches, and primarily she works with ceramics. But you know, I'm helping her get ready for the real artist life. You know, being on the road, doing all that, and being supportive of what she does. But her website is going to be at sinclairmarie.com. So I'm actually working on it right now. So and I got other artists that I'm working on stuff too right now. So it's a whole gamut of work. It's just not apparel that I do. Because one of the things that I've noticed was, especially when the COVID came out, is that a lot of artists they were cut off. They
Yeah.
couldn't go to shows. They couldn't go anywhere, and they were trying to sell stuff on Facebook. So I took the initiative to start helping people to learn how to build a website and sell their artwork on the internet, and teach them about marketing and you know taking pictures, digital work, and how to present it, the whole marketing side of things. And so I do a lot of stuff, and a lot of it, half of it is probably just, given time that I donate, because I feel that's
Yeah.
valuable information that I can share with other Native Americans who don't know that side of it.
It's good seeing our native people like strive and being more creative, because from what I saw in the past 2 years when the whole pandemic started, like everybody just got creative and started doing their own thing. And I feel like that was a, I would say it was a good thing, like how everybody just got more creative and started doing, I don't know, people are just coming up with all kinds of crazy stuff, like as trying to market and make money for, because a lot of jobs were lost and people
Yeah,
had to be more creative. You never know, because I see some people like get really creative with things like they just came out. I don't even know, like all kinds of stuff they just got creative with, and I was just like surprised at how much so much people had talent at doing things, and I was like, God damn. So That was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, no, I witnessed it too. I watched it, online, and they started taking advantage of everything, and I think it was an
Yeah.
important lesson, to just show, creative artists, whatever craft that they do, that they could use other means of media on the internet to display and show their work, and I think it was a good thing because it's really pushed our Native American to be in the spotlight within America, and I think you know that's a good foundational start for us as people, as Native Americans. That it it really pushed a lot of people, to whether it's doing memes or whether it's making art or clothing or beading or making flutes or whatever it is, the craft that they carry. Hey, we're here, and now a lot of people take our beauty in it, and now we're starting to get more TV show appearances, series that are Native American background driven, and it's really awesome to see.
Yeah, just like how I found it awesome that how people gravitated towards social media like TikTok mainly because a lot of Native Americans like are well known through TikTok now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these comedians and people that make these funny skits. It's like funny and they have their own comedy shows now. And
Hmm.
it's just like, yeah, damn. So I
Yeah,
would consider them entrepreneurs too because they're doing their thing through their social media, like influencing other people and just making people laugh.
them doing that, laughter is medicines, good medicine. So,
Yeah,
and it's kind of showing a lot of people, and I think it's important for people to be able to look at themselves and, I don't want to say make fun of yourself, but be able to laugh and, make a joke or here and there using yourself. And I think that's a powerful tool to share, with others.
yeah, like they're not necessarily making fun of like themselves. It's just like the upbringing of how
Yeah,
Native
yeah,
American families are.
yeah, yeah. And the thing I love about it is, they're comfortable enough to do it. That's really cool.
Had on the last episode was Tony Waisalisi. I don't know if you ever seen his videos.
No, you'll have to send me a link.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to some of his videos. He does like funny skits and just hearing his story to where he is now, and it's like, wow, it's pretty cool. All
Yeah.
through like TikTok and making people laugh.
Hmm. Definitely.
Would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would, but I kind of don't like putting a label on what I do as far as saying I'm an entrepreneur. I like to put a
Yeah,
label of I do because I love it.
exactly.
And that's kind of how I express what I do. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I love what I do, and I'll do it for free if I had to.
How do you manage stress when things don't go as they're supposed to?
Ah, oh wow, managing stress is, you just got to be straightforward with people sometimes and let them know, you're busy, you got a lot going on, and you just manage it. A client or a customer know, like we're backed up a little bit. It's going to take this. Just being straightforward to people. Because I think when you do that, it doesn't create stress for yourself or as over, you know, selling yourself. So that's kind of how I manage it. And
You're gonna be doing retail or gonna be in stores. Tell us a little bit more about how that's going.
oh yeah, it's a pawn shop up in Flagstaff and Ponderosa Pawn and Trading Company, and it's right on Route 66. It's right downtown.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so they
How long have you been in there?
for about About a year. I was actually up there yesterday and dropped off an order with him. I kind of swing in there and show him what I got and kind of go from there. Well, I sell shirts to Drumbeat down in Phoenix here on, I believe it's 16th Street.
Yeah, 16th Street and Indian School.
Yeah, so they carry my apparel to there. There's a couple places I've been wanting to sell to, but I want to keep it kind of primarily those two places. Like one spot in Phoenix, one spot in Flagstaff, and I'm looking for other places too that are going to be more up into the reservation side of things, or close to the reservation.
You mentioned that you read books, and I was wondering, like, have you ever heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yes, Robert Kiyosaki. Read that book.
Yes.
That's been kind of a
Have you,
pillar of what I kind of self-taught myself and grew up on. So definitely yes.
what book would you recommend for like an entrepreneur to read when people are starting to venture into entrepreneurship?
I think I would actually recommend that actual book. That book actually opened my mind up to the business side of thinking and thought and reaction, because in any kind of business, your thoughts is what projects what you're going to do physically and how to deal with certain situations. And it teaches you to really let go of what you learned in the past as far as what money means or success, and really look past that and turn it into something that is viable in your life, that will help you get what you want. And success is built around what you want in life, not what everybody else considers success. Something you love, and you're getting a monetary value back in it. It'll take care of you. It'll provide for you. That success will do that for you. So that's kind of,
Yep.
the big thing that I learned from that.
So do you ever get burned out from doing what you do?
Um, I used to when I was younger, but now it's just habit. Once you build a habit for your love, it's just you do it. It's like falling in love with your wife. It's just something you do. You're there. You're present. You take care of it. You do what you have to. That's how I feel about it.
What does your typical day work schedule look like?
Oh, typical day is sleeping a little. um, get up around 8 o'clock, go through emails that I've gotten over there overnight, kind of start to follow up on social media posts, comments, and reply back to people, and kind of, keeping communication, because in any business, communication is the biggest key. Because the way that I look at it is, I'm not paying my bills. My customers and people who love what I'm doing and buy from me, they're the people who are paying my bills. So I show a lot of respect to them, and I have to, because they're the ones who appreciate what I do. So yeah, communication is a big thing. So a lot of emails, calling people back.
And that's the thing is like when you go out on your own as an entrepreneur, like you need that support because the only income you're getting is from your fans or supporters. People don't really understand is like you need that support in order for your business to grow or for something that you got going on, like you need that support. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, no, that's something I learned when in my first business, and you have to respect your business as for what it is. Nobody's going to go and open up your store and unlock the doors or come over and wake you up and tell you, hey, you got to go to work. Oh, you need to make this call. No, there's nobody. You have to do it on your own. It takes discipline. Like yesterday, I have a whole lot going on, and I made one call up to Flagstaff to the store up there and said, hey, you guys need anything? And they said, yes, what do you got? And I told them, I'll be there in 2 hours and show you. So I hopped in my car and drove it to Flagstaff and took everything I had and made a good sale out of it. And that's the way you got to be. You just got to, with the younger generation, what they call, you got to make the money moves.
Yeah, you gotta take that initiative in order to be successful or to strive in things like this. Like if
Yeah,
it's a business.
exactly. Nobody's going to stand there and tell you, get up, go down here and sell. Get up, go over here and talk to this person. No, you got to do it on your own.
Yeah, you gotta have that passion and drive if you
Mm-hmm.
want whatever you got going on to succeed.
Exactly.
It's more important, innovation or integrity as an entrepreneur.
I think integrity's it's a slight lead on innovation because integrity is what's going to lead you into innovation. Integrity is going to allow you to be there right next to your customers and listen to them and to be straightforward with them. And they're the ones that are going to guide you to the innovation. They are the pillars of what the company is. I can't sit here and control what my business is going to be without my customers. So the integrity that I grow with them and them sharing back with me builds the innovation that I need to be doing for them.
Do you outsource your shirts or do you have like your own print shop?
I have I don't have a print shop per se right now, but I do have a 4-color shirt press here that I'm actually running out of my home, and I do smaller jobs here. I do all the design here. I print out the screens or the film and burn the screens and do everything here for the smaller stuff that I can do. But, bigger jobs, I normally send those out to get completed by other vendors that I have that I'm associated with. So yeah, that's and it's a balance thing too, and that's swings back around to the stress, I don't want to overstress myself because, you got to know what your production levels can be and what you can take on. But eventually, yeah, that's the big plan is to turn it into a full shop scenario.
Do you do only do screen printing or do you do like heat transfers or DTG, which is direct to garment?
Yeah. Primarily, I try to stick to just screen printing because to me personally, I think DTG is still in its infancy stage. I have a lot of work that I process through companies, and the longevity of the ink is just, not lasting. They'll put it through 5 or more washes and it starts to break off because the cure process isn't properly getting cured as much as it will with, say, a plastisol ink. primarily just stick with plastisol ink that is cured onto the garments, because the garments will fade before the plastisol starts to fade or fall off. So that goes back to me providing the highest quality shirt and the highest quality print that I can.
Shirts are 100% cotton.
Well, it depends on what the customer wants, but primarily I use it's a 40-60 mix, like a 40% polyester, 60% cotton. So it gives it that less, what do you want to, it's stretchy, but it'll always come
Yeah.
and conform back, and it feels good on the skin, and it prints on really well. So I try to stay away from using the thicker 100% like Gildan shirts.
Do you do like hats and like what else um supply do you carry like as stickers and stuff?
Yeah, we don't do the printing for those. We outsource the hats and the stickers and that whole process, because the outside of the scope of what I do as far as offering it to sell, those machines that produce the stickers, the hats, and everything, that's a whole nother realm that is pretty expensive. So eventually down the road, yeah, that's a goal, to pick up more machinery and move forward with it.
And do you still do like business cards and all that stuff for people?
I still do them here and there, but with the internet being the way it is, I mean, there's a lot of businesses out there that'll do business cards for free, almost paper shipping, and they design their own thing. So um, I primarily don't do them too much right now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of more, you know, people want to do their own thing, but when it comes to people who, or organizations who want like professional branding, like colors, fonts, and PMS colors that are set, yeah. So I work with them primarily.
Do you sell like at the flea markets and stuff?
I Here and there I do. I haven't had the chance to sell at the flea market down here or up on the reservations, but I'm trying to really push my work online to be able to take full advantage of, and learn also at the same time about online marketing and online selling. So I do a lot of that right now, and I'll go to some art shows, but yeah, I primarily just try to push everything online, whether it be through Facebook, Instagram, through our website. So, but I'm really trying to, you know, self learn a lot more for other people to gain out of it. Just selling online.
I'm going to your website right now, and you've got some amazing stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
The hybrid stew sunshine. How'd you come up with that design?
You go out and you look at different every designer, or even whether it be an artist, which is you go out and you see things that just catch your mind and you go off of it, it sparks you to do a certain design. And just
Yeah.
you'll see oh, okay, that's a cool design, maybe I can take a little piece of that and do something, not similar, but spark an idea towards a new design.
Nice. And I'm looking at your reviews from people. Do you mind if I read a couple of them?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, for sure.
So this is from his website, and he's got 5-star reviews from all his shirts and that people bought. And here's one review. I absolutely love my hoodie. I highly recommend any item from Native Apparel. Great customer service and great items too. Shipping was fast. And another one, I really like the fabric and the design. It is this world in this world. I'm going to rock this shirt on Indigenous Day. I plan on ordering more. And here's another one. Oh, you got a lot of good feedback. Here's another one. I love the shirt. It's perfectly and comfortable, as well as the meaning it represents is a good awareness for everyone and bringing Indigenous women to the forefront. Thank you. Hashtag MMIW. You got a lot of good reviews from your shirts, and the main one that people are gravitated towards MMIW. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I like to help promote awareness, and I feel that the MMIW awareness is a big issue right now. And it stems beyond just people missing. To me, I like I was telling you earlier, I really research everything that I design, and the MMIW awareness really started up in Canada, and it kind of filtered down into the U.S. And I believe it's, to me personally, it's more of a resource issue on reservations that police force they're so low numbered in officers to really pursue investigations on missing reports,
Yeah,
and it's a huge awareness that needs to be really presented to the world, and that's part of what I do. And you know from the cells, the MMIW stuff too, I really try to give back, and I donate shirts to different organizations that help homeless people, and because a lot of homelessness can come from anything from domestic violence, people leaving a relationship, um, getting out of jail because of domestic violence. And, you know, so I really push in that area to just create awareness.
you put that awareness out there because MMIW is would be like a strong message out there because we are having a lot of our indigenous sisters go missing, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the MMIW stems further and longer. They built the acronym a whole lot longer because it just doesn't include just women; it includes the men too. It really stems into everything, you know, and that's what I wanted to be a pillar for. So that's why MMIW Days they have every year on May 5th. That's why I do a lot of shirts, and that's probably why you see a lot of it, like on my Facebook page and feeds and Instagram, to really push that because it's me helping to bring awareness. I have a couple paintings that I've donated too with a original MMIW design. I've donated prints to different organizations. Like they had the Phoenix Indian Center, who had their I believe it's called their ball gala, or but they have a silent auction, and I donated a 24 by 36 print to them that was framed, to kind of help them to help their cause.
Yeah.
So, and then I donated another friend to another organization. So, and they're still trying to make use of it. So, yeah, I do a lot of donations in the community.
It's good to hear like people who own native brands give back to the community.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's important. It's important, not just for self promotion or anything, but it's important to give back. You know, I believe in a way. You know, I've been given a gift, and I can use it to help myself and other people too at the same time. So that's how I look at it.
What makes your company stand out from all other native businesses that are out there right now?
I think what makes it stand out the most is the design aspect. And it's me being able to design multicultural, to be able to design a t shirt or a cup or a hat or a hoodie or a poster that any nationality can share and take pride in it. That's what drives me.
How long have you been doing it again?
Well, I started Native Apparel 2 years ago. Like I was saying, just as a uh, experiment, because I never built a website. It was more based around the website, and then it turned into and developed more into an apparel online store. And that's where it grew from. And yeah, now I'm here, and I got inventory. I'm running everywhere, selling online, and giving back to the community. And so it's really cool. I've been everywhere.
Nice. Traveling man, huh?
Yeah, try to.
Getting to go to new places and experiencing like the new states and stuff like that's an adventure in itself.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's fun. I've been able to go to like the Santa Fe Market, places like that. But I think primarily, I think me personally, I'm trying to figure out and get the real aspect of teaching myself how to sell online strictly being a Native American. So Native American artists or having that website, being able to do that strictly online and teach people, like in Tuba City or in, Hopi Land, like Second Mesa, who can't get out all the time. I want to be able to
Yeah.
create I'm really looking for that recipe of how to do it and share it with them in the end because it's going to help everybody. It's going to help the guy who's sitting there who's 65 and he can't drive, but he can still carve and be able to teach him or help him to sell his work to, help him supplement his income. That's where
Yeah.
that's the end goal of what I'm really trying to do right now. It's kind of like a little research project that I'm trying to really go down that road and share it with the world as far as what reservation life is and share it with them so they can kind of do what I've done and I can teach them and help them to take advantage.
Yeah, everything is all like social media wise now. Everything's all done online.
Yeah, and and there's a big, huge gap between generations, and that's the bridge that I'm trying to cross right now because I'm I'm 45 years old, and I'm the generation on the internet now is in their 20s on up. So it's like designing for young kids now. So, that's what got me into the apparel part of things to generate stuff that they want. Because you got to design and produce for the generation that is coming up. So that's the part, what you were talking about, the innovation part, learning the
Yeah.
innovation part, but you got to learn what the people want, and then you'll get the innovation to develop for them and create for them, because they really don't know what they want. You gotta research, you gotta listen to them, you gotta watch them, you gotta see what they post, and it's an endless game. That's the marketing part of it, and eventually you're going to come out with a little recipe that is a design, and they love it. And it's an interesting thing to see who buys the artwork, or not the artwork, but the apparel that I produce. Whether it be middle aged, older, or the younger generations, and I have to produce for all of them. So it's like uh, a balancing act, and that's what it takes in this new world.
It's like I said, it's awesome having or seeing other natives out there doing what they love to do and giving or getting that message out there, whether it be like we as Native Americans, like we're still here and just like unifying everybody together.
hmm Yeah, and that brings me back to this new design that I've come to develop, that I'm putting together, which is more based around all the Native Americans that are based out of the United States, that are registered, and I call it 574 strong, and 574 is basically how many tribes are registered in the United States or with the United States. So that's another unity, statement that I'm coming out with, to really push 574 strong, as far as, whether it be athletics, business, education, just plain work, we're all in this together. It's a reminder piece, a unity piece.
What would you say to if you would give any advice to up and coming entrepreneurs? Like, what type of advice would you give them?
I think the biggest thing that, I would share is, you know, um, you're going to fail. You're going to fail a whole lot more than you're going to succeed. But it's a matter of picking yourself back up quickly and getting back into the game and figuring out why you failed and move forward. And one of the good sayings that I've heard, like from Vahi Whitethorn, is, any artist, and I think this goes towards any business, is that give yourself 5 years and then prove it to yourself. And after 5 years, we'll see if you're going to stick around. It's a tough world, business wise. It's easy to be, an entrepreneur that just sells knickknacks. And the big difference is, a business owner is one thing, and being self employed is another. Being a business owner is, you have people who run your stuff, and you have built it up to that level of where they can run your business from you, and you can dictate what is going to happen with it. But if you become a self-employed person, you have to work. You have to go out there and grind it out. There's two choices. You're either going to do it all on your own, or you're going to teach yourself to teach other people to do it for you. And that's the difference.
Thank you for coming on the podcast once again. And but there's a lot of opportunities that people need to take because those opportunities won't show up again.
Yeah, and I'll share this with you. One of the things that I've learned is, you know, you can sit there and you can pray for opportunities, but in reality, what you should be praying for is to be prepared to see the opportunities that are given to you, but more or less being prepared to be given the opportunities that you can't see. So that's a big thing in me too. Or I would rather pray to be ready to see the opportunities I'm going to be given versus praying just for the opportunity to come to me.
And I'm going to leave it with this. The only thing worse than starting something and failing is not starting something at all. Because if you don't start something, you're never going to know the outcome of it. And that could be like success or failure. You never know which way it's going to go. So that's why I tell people, like, just start something up, do something. If you fail at it, you're gonna learn from your mistakes and where you learn from. So don't be scared to not do something. Like, get out of your bubble and go out and live your life and do what you want to do in order to strive and make yourself better.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I live off of right now.
Think big, and good things will come.
Yeah, there's a thing that I tell a lot of people. Um, why be scared of things that you want to pursue? All you got to do is ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're either going to get a no, or you're going to get denied, or whatever comes along with that. But the ultimate question is it going to kill you? That's the worst. No, it's not going to kill you. So do it. Take that step.
Build that foundation and start building from there.
Yeah.
Good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be on the podcast. And thank you to everybody who's listening to the podcast.
Thank you, Chris Paddock, Native Apparel.
Thank you. Yeah.
You can check out Native Apparel on Facebook, Instagram, and their website. Make sure you go follow them at www.nativeapparel.com. Make sure you guys go cop some apparel from them. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And make sure you follow us on Spotify. Make sure you hit that follow button and that bell. Until next time, we out. Hook up for listening to this episode.